Good morning to one and all. Welcome to today's VAYU Hindu News Analysis of 25th June 2026. In today's newspaper analysis, we are going to see some of the important news articles. So, let's begin. So, the first article what we are going to see in today's class is Clearing the Road to Timely Trauma Care in India. So this is the first news article that we are going to see in today's paper analysis. So first and foremost thing is that you need to understand the term what is meant by trauma care. So it refers to the emergency medical treatment that is being given to a person who is suffering from an injury like any kind of road accidents, physical trauma, mental trauma. So this emergency medical treatment that is being given to the person is known as the trauma care. Now, this trauma care consists of certain steps. Let's say for example, a person has met with an accident. So, when a person has met with an accident, any person who is passerby will see this person and will automatically call to the emergency number. So, after calling to the emergency number, next step is that achieving or occurrence of this ambulance for any kind of help. Now, when this ambulance has arrived, doctors in the hospital must have required equipment in order to treat the person who is suffered from injury and who has suffered from injuries of any kind of types. Now the thing is, this entire cycle comes under the trauma care. But what is the issue? The issue is that hospitals are not equipped with the right infrastructure, and also there are n number of emergency numbers where the person, the passerby who first sees this kind of injury has no information of which number to call. So based on all these issues and things, this trauma care has been become initially important for us to discuss here. The main thing is that in India, every year, around 4.75 lakh people suffer and because of the road accidents. So, this trauma care is very important topic to discuss. So, this is the initial thing what we need to understand before going to discuss this article. Now, coming to this article, the Supreme Court has given that right to get this trauma care comes under right of fundamental right. Okay, so under fundamental right of Article 21, right of getting this trauma care has been recognized by the Supreme Court. This is what given in this article. Now, for these steps, what it has been taken. So, one of the main steps that it has taken is that integration of all the emergency numbers. As I already told you, one of the most important step is that the person who is passing nearby, he needs to call the emergency number. So here, it has integrated all the emergency numbers into single helpline. This is the first step that have been taken under this. And coming to the next thing, establishment of the grievance redressal system. Okay, so this is the second step that has been taken. And one more thing is that inclusion and usage of the technology has been taken under this. Let's say for example, carrying of GPS integrated, and it must be integrated with respect to emergency, ambulance systems, etc. And the final step is that every state registries must be linked with the central registry. So, if these 4 steps have been taken for these order of saving the life of a person, trauma care can be achieved a good result in the India. So, the main gist of the article is that saving the life of the person who is suffering from the trauma, and what is the main thing is that recognition of getting proper trauma care is part of Article 21 of the Supreme Court. This is what you should learn from this article. Now, so this is the overall view. Now, we'll see what is important in prelims point of view and what is important in mains point of view. Coming to the prelims point of view, we need to study about the scheme called PM Rahat. Okay, so you need to study about PM Rahat. Okay, and coming to the mains point of view, what are the things you need to learn from this article is that first thing, as I already told you, use this word cooperative federalism approach. Okay, so here from this article we have got the word called cooperative federalism approach, and also here you can use this 4.67 and 4.7 lakhs Indians die in the National Crime Records Bureau data. So you can quote this. Okay, so approximately you can quote 4.7 lakh people are dying in the road accidents given by National Crime Records Bureau data. So this point and these two are the value additions. So whenever you have read this article, you please note down this term called cooperative federalism approach. So that will be having so much of value addition to your answers when compared to the others' answers. So this is how this article explains. So for the prelims point of view, you need to study about PM Rahat, and for the mains point of view, you need to understand this cycle and you need to quote this data, and also you must use this term called cooperative federalism approach. So this is the gist about this article. Now let's move to next article. See what this article is telling. Sustaining India's low fertility future. As we already know that India's fertility rate has actually fallen to 1.9. Whereas global average fertility rate is 2.2. And the replacement rate is given as 2.1. That means India's fertility rate have fallen below the replacement rate. So it is a concern for India. Actually, one of the main advantage for India is that India is enjoying the fruits of the demographic dividend. But here the replacement rate is 1.9. So the total fertility rate has become 1.9, which is far below the replacement rate of 2.1. Now, here this is the first issue that has been highlighted in the article. Now coming to the further issues, what has been highlighted is that these fertility rates are different in different countries, and along with these fertility rates are different in different states also. Not only among different countries, but there are different fertility rates in different states in India also. Let's say for example, in India, especially right now, southern states have reduced the growth of their population. So population growth of the southern rates has been reduced when compared to the north states. So what happens is that migration of the people occurs in order to get the employment opportunities. So this is the one issue. So the issues which has been identified in this article is, so this is the first issue where fertility rates has fallen below the replacement level. And the next issue that has been highlighted in this is that the author has quoted the example of Japan. As we already know, Japan is the classic example of having people who are experiencing aging. Okay, so aging is the main disadvantage for the country like Japan, and also because of this aging, public debt has been rising. This is the one of the story what we need to learn. So this shows us some lessons what we need to learn from the Japan. And the next issue what has been highlighted is that because of the low population growth, the taxpayers remains only 6% of the total population. So the taxpayers is only 6% of the total population. So this will reduce the revenue of the government. Okay, so this will reduce the revenue of the government. This is the second issue that has been highlighted. And the one more thing is that more number of people who are working actually are working in informal and semi-informal works. So this is one of the main issue because of lack of properly social security measures. So this is the third issue that has been highlighted in this article. And also here they are mentioning about some of the other things like unpaid female care. Okay, so this is the fourth issue that has been highlighted, and along with that, as we already discussed earlier, urbanization and migration, and because of this, households are getting transferred into nuclear households from the joint household families is the serious issue that India is facing right now. Why? Because if the households are being transferred from joint households to nuclear households, then what is the main issue is that care of the elderly will be reduced, so there will be a more burden. So burden on the government will increase in order to take care of those elderly people. So this is the fifth issue that has been highlighted. Okay, even though number of old age people are there in India, the increase or proliferation of the number of old age people is another one more issue, because here it is projecting that by 2050 old age people will rise to 347 million. So this is one more issue. But even though the number of old age people are increasing, the main issue comes here where number of persons covered under the pension. Here it is mentioning that 78% of the people do not come under this pension cover. This is the one more issue that has been highlighted. So, based on all these 7 issues which have been discussed in this article regarding the demographic dividend, population dynamics, increase of the population of the old age people, and reduction of the number of direct taxpayers. So, these are the main issues that have been given in this particular article. So this article is very, very important for the mains point of view with respect to change in the India's demographic structure. Now here, what words we can use here? So if we observe here, I have highlighted the word in the green pen, that is productive opportunities. So whenever these kind of questions come with respect to demographic dividend of India, old age people, employment, unemployment, all these things, then you must use the word called productive opportunities in your way forward. While writing the solutions and way forward, you must use this term called productive opportunity so that it will give value edge over others. And one more thing is that you can use this point as your conclusion. Okay, India is entering mass aging before completing its transitions. So these kind of sentences and words which are catchy and which are actually in the newspaper language terms will give you extra edge over the others. So this is the gist about this article. So coming to the prelims point of view, what you should learn. And coming to the mains point of view, what you should learn. So, in the prelims point of view, you must learn about Atal Pension Yojana. Atal Pension Yojana. And also, in the statement based questions, because of the changing nature of the paper, in the statement based questions, they may ask like the total fertility rate of India is above the world average. So, you need to mark, is it right or wrong by remembering these values. Just no need to remember the values, just you need to remember whether it is above or below the global level. You should read, you just need to remember in your mind about these values. So, this is from prelims point of view. And coming from mains point of view, as I already highlighted those 7 issues which has been discussed in the article, you must be aware of these 7 issues along with remembering the Atal Pension Yojana scheme. And also here, note down the important word called productive opportunities, and also make a note of this conclusion so that you can use it whenever these kind of questions come. So this is what we should learn from this article. Next article. This is IR, GS2. So this article is mentioning the changing nature of the world. Let's say, for example, in the world, bilateral relations always transition from one country to another country. So here, the author is mentioning about the recent change in the name of the command US Indo-Pacific Command to United States Pacific Command. So, United States Indo-Pacific Command has been changed to United States Pacific Command. So, the thing is here with the Indo, this word has been got removed. So, this is an area of the concern for India. So, this is the first thing what the author has highlighted in this particular article. And the next thing what has been highlighted in this issue is that growth of this particular group called G2. So, G2 group is an alliance between USA and China. As we already know and we are seeing from many years, these USA and China have bilateral, not that much good of bilateral relationships with respect to each other in the present world. But in the name of these G2, these two world powers, they want to rule the world and they are getting closer. Now, you may ask, what is the significance for India? Of course, there exists a significance for the India. Why? Because of this G2 group. Because of this G2 group, significance of Quad has been reducing. All of you aware of the Quad. So, Quad grouping is the grouping of 4 countries, that is USA, India, Japan and Australia. Now, the main thing is that because of the growth of these groupings like G2, the main thing is significance of Quad has been reducing. So, importance of India in the global south is being reducing. Now, see here. Actually, Quad has particular dimensions like various dimensions in the multi-cooperative. But the thing is here, the significance of Quad has been reduced to only 4 areas of cooperation, that is maritime security, economic prosperity, mineral technology and the disaster responses. So, the scope of the Quad has been reduced. So, of course, this is going to affect the country like India. That is what we need to learn from this particular article. So, after reading this whole article, we should get only what we are required. No need of the entire article. So, this from the mains point of view, the question can be impact of US and China relationships on India. So, then you can mention about these things called G2 group and also alliances between USA and the China. This is what we should learn from the article. Now, in this case, what India should do? So, the steps that has been taken by India is that we should come forward and have close associations with some of the other groupings called BIMSTEC, SCO, Asian, etc. So, we should develop some more contacts with these regional groupings. And also, we must advance our technology in various things like pharma sector and also critical mineral sector. So, we should develop the grouping. Also, why? Because since USA and China hold the permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council, India must be aware of maintaining its position as the leader of the global south. So, this is what we should learn from this particular article. So, this article is mainly regarding the mains point of view. There is less relevance for the prelims point of view. And for the prelims point of view, what you need to understand is that so, for the prelims, you need to understand and aware of the countries which are present in the groupings like G2, Quad, SCO, BIMSTEC, like that. So, always remember, while you are reading about any kind of groupings like this, you need to know about it was created in which year, under which protocol it was being created, Okay, and what is the headquarters and just list of the countries. Why? Because even though if you are not aware of this year, that's not that much of significant, but the thing is you must remember about headquarters and the countries. Okay, now the main thing why we should remember these things is that in the prelims point of view, because of the changing paper, in one of the statement they may give like India is one of the member of the SCO. So based on this, you must tell whether this statement is right or wrong. So for that reason, you need to understand. Let's say for example, what are the countries that are present in the BIMSTEC? So they may give A, B, C, D, E. Let's say Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, and you need to select all 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 are correct. So these kind of questions will come from the groupings point of view. So that's what you need to learn from this article in the prelims perspective. Now coming to the mains perspective, as I already told you, there will be scope of coming question in this regarding like impact of USA-China relations on India. So these kind of questions you must highlight by using these groups. So this is what we should learn from this particular article. Now, next article. Now, see this next article, symbolism over substance. So, here the Tamil Nadu government has a scheme where it is celebrating the birth of children by providing a small gold ring. Okay, so gift of small gold ring to the newborn children by celebrating the birth. So this is one of the significance, because in the present day what happened is that infant foeticide, especially female foeticide, is one of the major issue what India is facing of. And in the previous article also we have discussed about this implications of aging population and reduction of the total fertility rate. So you can link that article here. So whenever any question has come in this particular article, you can use the data facts from there, where I have given you the values of 1.9, 2.1 and the global age average of 2.2. All those things you can link it here. Now here the issue is that it is good to celebrate the birth of the child in the event of reduction of the birth rate. Now, but the thing is, it is spending too much amount of money. So it has given 755 crores, around 755 crores annually is being solely spent on this particular scheme. Now tell me, is this a good initiative or a bad initiative? See, in one case, this is a good initiative where it is promoting the demographic capability of India. But in another case, it is not a that much good initiative when we consider it with respect to the budget and economic growth of that particular state. Because spending of 755 crores around is such a huge amount, where that amount can be utilized in order to increase the investments, where employment can be increased because of that, and also proper health care can be provided, food facilities, education, all these things can be provided with that much of amount. Now, the main aim of discussing this particular article is that in case of any kind of question in demographic dividend and reduction of fertility rate, use this scheme. Use this scheme of Tamil Nadu and write this in a positive way. But in case of like freebies, so in the concept of freebies and also increase of government expenditure, then quote this as an example and case study where it is acting as extra debt on the state government. So this is the main thing what we need to learn from this article, and this is a small article what we should learn from this. Next article. Okay. Now, see, next article is 31% of Rajya Sabha MPs have declared criminal cases. So, according to ADR report, what it is telling is that 31% of Rajya Sabha members, they have declared criminal cases against themselves. Okay, so themselves they have declared that they are having of criminal cases, they have criminal cases background. So, 31% of Rajya Sabha members have been declared that. Now, and also along with this, 16% has declared serious criminal cases. The major issue what we are facing in the country right now is criminalization of politics and money versus muscle excess. So the main thing is that criminalization of politics is the major issue that is being concerned in the India, and because of this you can use this as an example or some kind of case study while writing your GS2 answer writing. So that is the reason why I have highlighted you this thing. But you may ask, what is the impact on this? Let's say, for example, consider youth. As you already know, the number of youth who are participating and also number of women who are participating in this particular politics is actually far low when compared to the other countries. So when the chances are given to youth who are educated and when they have providing proper opportunities in order to excel, then this won't be an issue. And in order to control this criminalization of politics, proper care must be taken by the government by providing opportunities to the respected youth and women who are eligible and who have more capacity and in order to contribute to the country. So just use this ADR report where 31% of Rajya Sabha members have declared criminal cases on themselves and 16% of Rajya Sabha members have declared serious criminal cases on themselves. So this is just an example where you can quote in the mains answer writing, and if any case in that those kind of questions come, you can link it with the impact and use the word called criminalization of the politics and money and muscle access. So these are the two words which you can learn from this article and also one example. This is the main thing. Next article. This article I have mentioned only in order to write this term. As I already told you, whatever the terms that I am highlighting in the green color, please make a list of those terms. Here, the term that is mentioned is the Vikasit and Surakshit. Let's say, for example, if we have used in the conclusions, especially these words like Vikasit and Surakshit, it will be more marks fetching. Let's say, for example, by 2047, India needs to achieve the goal by maintaining both Vikasit and the Surakshit, because development of all the sections of the society is needed. Inclusive growth, where no section of the society is left behind and no sector of the society is left behind. So all the people, let's say aged, women, children, youth, everyone, tribals, okay, SC, ST, so everyone must be having equal opportunities in order to excel. So Vikasit and Surakshit. Once these opportunities has been given to all, Vikasit, now Surakshit is the main aim. What is meant by Surakshit? Providing opportunities is not the issue, but we should handle them properly, like implementation should be proper. Let's say, for example, even though tribes has been, let's say, take one small example where rehabilitation of the tribes from one place to another place. Now, since they are being rehabilitation to another place, let's say compensation is being provided to them. Even though compensation is being provided, if they are not able to use that compensation money effectively, then there will be no use actually. Okay, so these kind of things, safety norms must be taken care properly. So I just highlighted this for the word Vikasit and the Surakshit. Just note down this word so you can use it. As for the anthropology students, especially while you're getting about the tribes question, any question on the tribes in the anthropology paper, so you can use this. And this Vikasit and Surakshit you can also use in the essay paper. Essay conclusions also you can use this term. This is what we should learn from this paper article. Now, for the prelims point of view, this article is mentioning about El Nino. So this is only for the prelims point of view, where you must be aware of the term called El Nino, where warming of the Eastern Pacific Ocean occurs. So warming of Eastern Pacific Ocean, especially in the South America and near the regions of the Peru, is one of the major thing called as the El Nino. Now, because of this El Nino, there will be having negative impact on the monsoon of the India. Okay, there is a term called ENSO, and it is divided into El Nino and La Nino. The major thing is this La Nino is advantageous for India where Western Pacific Ocean is warmed. So as a result, this La Nina brings more rainfall to India and occurrence of droughts to South America and surrounding regions. But in case of El Nino, loss occurs to countries like India, Australia, all these things. Whereas more rainfall that will be occurred to regions of the South America, all these regions, Atlantic regions. So you should remember about El Nino and the La Nina, and this is only for the prelims point of view. And also consider this El Nino not occurs frequently, it occurs once in 2 to 7 years. And because of this, of El Nino, there will be loss of monsoon rains. So it will be creating havoc conditions for the farmers in India. So this article mainly for the prelims point of view. You must remember about El Nino and the La Nina. That's it. Next article. Next case study. So this article is mentioning about solar rooftops / household power bills to zero in Kerala and Rajasthan. So as we are aware of increase of usage of the renewable energy. In yesterday's class, I have already discussed about Panchamrit goals. Panchamrit goals where India has been adopted in the COP26. Now, in this goal, there are 5 goals in this, and one of the goal is that net zero, achieving net zero by 2070. And one more thing is that generation of the power using renewable energy. This is one of the main goal of the Panchamrit goal. Now, the major thing is that in order to achieve these goals, India has started usage of increase in renewable sources of energy. So one among them is the proliferation of usage of solar power. Usage of solar power, and right now India is holding the 3rd position in the usage and proliferation of the solar power. Now major thing is that for the prelims point of view, you need to remember about the schemes, especially what has been covered in order to increase the usage of this solar power. Here it has mentioned one scheme, PM Suryaghar Muft Bijli Yojana, PMSG MBY. So this scheme is very, very important, where rooftop solar power has been given to the inducted to the all the people, means especially in some of the states. Very widely this scheme has been taken. So here this case study mentions that because of this PM Suryaghar Muft Bijli Yojana, rooftop solar power usage has been increased. As a result, the power bills of the people, especially in Kerala and Rajasthan, they are almost showing low bills or zero charges and low electricity bills because of this rooftop solar power. So this is the case study and the article which you should use for your GS3 answer writings, and also you can also use it in proliferation of technology in SNT. All these things you can use it. So this is what you should learn from this article. So solely this article is mainly for the improvements that has been taken in the India because of the new initiatives. This is what you should learn from this article. So that's all for today. We have discussed some articles, and we are mainly focusing on prelims point of view and the mains point of view, and I am highlighting you some of the words in the green color plane. Please note down those words at one place where that will be useful. Also some of the conclusions, please note it down at a separate place in the one of the side of the book. Those kinds of things will give extra edge to you over the others. And also based on these articles today, as the articles discussed today, we will come tomorrow and we will discuss in tomorrow's class the further articles. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe to VAYU News Analysis. Thank you.